Yeah, I think I remember reading like Utah does an excellent job of like getting sacked, getting pressure on the quarterback, and that's definitely gonna, yeah, I think if assuming if Olin Fashion is healthy, I would hope they would stick him back there in the starting lineup because they're gonna need all hands on deck to handle that pass rush of the Utes, and of course, very important that they're able to establish that ground game of Singleton and Allen to keep the defense honest and not allow them to just pin their ears back and just have rush four or three and just be able to get pressure that way. So I mean, I see it just being like a real. I say to say it's not going to be the shootout we saw between Penn State and USC 6 years ago. Probably a little more low scoring, but a good back and forth, physical kind of rock fight of a game. And I think it'll come down to maybe the last couple possessions of the game to come up with a winner. So, I do expect to, be a good, exciting game to watch. Regardless, if you're a fan, even if you're not a fan of either team, like you're just like a fan of college football, I think this should be a entertaining game to watch. One of the more entertaining ones to watch. Let's see.
Absolutely, it should be a very entertaining game. And I think one thing I'll be very curious to watch also is because you see this every year in bowl season, but again, carries a little bit different weight when it's the Rose Bowl and you're a team who you expect to be a preseason top 10 team next year. Who are going to be those breakout guys? I think back to 2014 in the Pinstripe Bowl, we saw Chris Godwin burst onto the scene with his
Yep.
breakout performance. 2015 in the Gator Bowl, Christian Hackenberg leaves with injury. Penn State's losing by 20-something points, and Trace McSorley nearly brings them back to win. And you see Trace's breakout game. There's always going to be that guy. I know I kind of mentioned earlier, but offensively, I wouldn't be surprised to see that big Keandre Lambert Smith. All the talent in the world, a receiver, has yet to put it together, but seemed like he was starting to put it together at the end of the year, that big game against Michigan State. And defensively, I wouldn't be stunned if we see denied Dennis Sutton, who all year long just kind of flew under the radar, would make a splash play or two each game. It seemed like steadily got better. Wouldn't be shocked to see the put that 5-star talent to use in the Rose Bowl and maybe come up with a big sack, a forced fumble, something like that could impact the game for Penn State.
Yeah, it's certainly a chance for some of the these freshmen or sophomore, just guys who maybe are kind of on the cuff of breaking out to actually have a breakout performance. So yeah, that's definitely another thing to keep an eye on. And just a quick reminder, I guess, see a bunch of you tuning in. If you enjoyed your scene here, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our Penn State Voice of College Football channel. It's a channel we're trying to grow. Don't know how many subscribers we have at the moment. I know we're trying to get to 600 by the end of the year. So if you can help us get to that goal, like and subscribe. And also, you can see it here in the banner, watchdiaries.com. That's where Mario and I write for. So obviously football is kind of fading out a bit, but we're very much covering other sports. Mario and I help cover basketball team who we talked briefly about earlier, had a very nice win on the road today at a ranked Illinois team, kind of getting themselves back into NCAA tournament talk for now. And, but also wrestling, we've had great coverage for, and, we do weekly recaps on the hockey team, which has been having a great bounce back year after a couple down years. So it's, just because the football season's almost over, doesn't mean we're slowing down. So go check us out for all Penn State sports coverage. And like and subscribe to the Penn State Voice College Football channel. So I got some more comments here. There we go. Manny C says, Man Diaz is known for being aggressive on defense. Do you think it was too aggressive? Would you like to see him make adjustments where he perfectly fine the product that he produced?
I mean, I think with Manny Diaz, there were times this year it got frustrating for me. In the moment, you'd get frustrated because you'd have 3rd and long, and he'd bring this blitz and it wouldn't get home, and then you get burnt and give him a first down. But then when you kind of sit back and you look at it from the macro point of view, and it's like, all right, this was. I honestly can't tell you. I can't even think of the last time a Penn State defense forced as many turnovers as they did this year. Um, Led the country in pass breakups. I believe they were like 2nd or 3rd in the country in tackles for loss. And by the end of the season, they were one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. And outside of the Michigan game, played really well against everybody they played this year. So yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things you got to kind of step back, look at it from the macro level. When it happens, like I remember against Auburn, there were a couple times they would bring these blitzes. They wouldn't get home. Guys would get upfield too far in their rush lanes and leave these big gaps for TJ Finley to just lumber away for 12 yards and a first down. But we saw how that game ended. So I don't have any issues with it. It also helps when you have a defense as talented as this one is. I will say, knowing how aggressive Manny likes to be, I am just absolutely thrilled to watch next season what he's going to do with Abdul Carter, because the limit, it's endless potential there of what you can do with Abdul Carter with this aggressive of a defense coordinator. So that should be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I would say I think at times maybe you're a little annoyed when he's bringing the blitzes on 3rd and long, and when it felt kind of unnecessary. But you know what? That's just Manny's DNA. I mean, that's his style. He wants to bring the pressure constantly, and I can't argue against the results. It's worked more often than not. And I say the thing is, being a high risk, high reward kind of system. You're going to give up big plays. You have to accept that. You're going to give some big plays, but you're also going to get some big plays out of your defense, which it could be maybe you get an important pass, get an important sack, or just get in the quarterback's face and he throws an errant pass on 3rd down, so you get off the field, or you force a fumble recovery, a scoop and score, you force an interception, a pick six. So there's a lot of good things that come out of it too. As someone who just remembers watching all those bend but don't break defense that Tom Bradley and to a lesser extent Brent Pry had, it's kind of refreshing to have a defense that tries to set the tone like Manny does. So yeah, so you know what? You give me the excuse me. I say you can give me all the warts that can come with such a system, and but I'll take the successes that come out of it. I feel like the positives have outweighed the negatives of Manny's defense, and I'm glad that it seems like he's going to be back for another year. So I think next year could truly be a special one, and if it is, then I think he'll probably get some Power 5 head coaching offers at that point.